Good day, everyone. I am Marilyn Soliman, and I'll be your instructor for the day on Agri Fishery Arts Parts 1 and 2. Agri Fishery Arts Part 1 is an overview of Agri Fishery Arts discipline, including philosophy, areas of specialization, and role in societal development. While Agri Fishery Arts Part 2 is a continuation of introduction to Agri Fishery Arts 1 and is focused on specialized fields in Agri Fishery Arts. The areas of specializations are organic agriculture, and this acquaints students with philosophy, objectives, principles of organic agriculture, broader theoretical knowledge of functions and of relationship in the ecosystem or agroecosystem. And the next is the crop production, which includes crop production technology 1. This is about field crop and production, and this covers basic principles, theories, methods, and applications of cereals and field crops production. The next to this is the crop production technology 2, and this is about horticulture and crop production. While this course is designed in order for the students to acquire knowledge and skills on the various practices in growing, processing, and marketing horticulture crops, and last one is the crop production technology 3, and this is about farming system. This is in response to the physical, biological, and socio-economic environment, and also in accordance with the goals and preferences of the farmers. Animal Production 1 to 3 is composed of the three important courses, and these are Animal Production Technology 1 on poultry production. This course includes the study of basic concepts and principles of selection, culling, breeds and breeding, feeds, mud feeding, housing and equipment requirements, pest and diseases control, marketing, dressing and cutting, and it also includes economic importance and management practices in poultry raising. And this was followed by Animal Production Technology 2 on swine production. This course includes the study of basic concepts and principles of selection, culling, breeding and feeding, housing and equipment requirements, pest and diseases control, marketing, slaughtering, and meat fabrication. And the third course is the Animal Production Technology 3 on ruminant production, and this course includes the study of basic concepts and principles of selections, culling, breeds and breeding, feeds, mud feeding, housing and equipment requirements, pest and diseases control, marketing, slaughtering, and meat fabrication. It also includes economic importance and management practices in small and large ruminant raising. While pest management is composed of Crop Protect 1, this is on principles of crop production. This course deals with the study and approaches of crop pests and diseases and their application for effective management and control of agricultural production for agricultural sustainability in the country. Next to this is the integrated pest management, and this is designed to introduce students to the theory and practices of integrated pest management system in major agronomic and horticultural crops, pasture system, non-cropland, and urban settings. Followed by aquaculture, and this course aims to provide learners with an overview of aquaculture. It includes water quality, production system, spawning, and the common fish captured in the community. After this is the fish capture, and this course deals with catching and delivering seafoods product. This will train learners in fishing and other related fishing activities in inland bodies of water and marine waters using fishing vessels. Lastly is the fishing gear repair and maintenance, and this course orient the learners on fishing gear, repair, and maintenance. It covers basic common and core competencies required of the learners. And next to this is the fish product packaging. This course intends to train learners in packing fish products using a variety of methods, such as applying food safety and sanitation, using food processing tools, equipment, and utensils, implementing good manufacturing practice procedures, and packing processes, fish by vacuum bottling or canning. It is the process where the male establishes a territory, digs a crater-like nest, and guards his territory to find a female tilapia. A. Courtship. B. Reproduction. C. Spawning. D. Feeding. Spawning begins when the water temperature reaches 24 degrees Celsius. The breeding process starts when the male establishes a territory, digs a crater-like spawning nest, and guards his territory. The rye female spawn in the nest and immediately after fertilization by the male, collects the egg into her mouth and moves off. What is a small hand-propelled carrier with only one wheel intended to be push-and-guided by a single person using two handles from the back? A. Harvester. B. Plow tractor. C. Wheelbarrow. D. Harrow. A wheelbarrow is a small open cart with one wheel and handles that is used for carrying things, for example in the garden during gardening activity. What is the name given to an infective abscess sometimes found on the bottom of a chicken's foot? A. Bumblefoot. B. Bruised sole. C. Hot foot. D. Tenderfoot. Bumblefoot is a bacterial infection or abscess of the foot. It's caused by a cut or scrape to the chicken's foot that then becomes contaminated by different species of bacteria that are often ubiquitous in the surrounding environment, including Staphylococcus aureus. It is the art and science of cultivating the soil, growing crops, and raising livestock. It includes preparing plants and animal products for people and their distribution to markets. A. Aquaculture. B. Agriculture. C. Horticulture. D. Cultivating. Agriculture is the art and science of cultivating the soil, growing crops, and raising livestock. It includes the preparation of plants and animal products for people to use and their distribution to markets. It is a parasitic mite that can live in the cracks and crevices of a hen house, coming out at dusk to feed on roosting birds. A. Northern mite. B. Scaly leg mite. C. Lice. D. Red mite. Red mites are blood-sucking ectoparasites that infest and feed on chickens and turkeys. They invade at any time, but especially during the warmer summer months. Warmth gives the red mite the ideal condition in which to breed, so number therefore proliferate extremely quickly in warmer weather. Number 6. Which statement on the effective use of a protective fungicide is true? A. Use too little fungicide at the right time and at the right way. B. Use too much fungicide at the right time and in the right way. C. Use the extract amount of fungicide at the right time and at the right way. And D. Use to extract the amount of fungicide at any time, at any way. It is important to use the extract amount of fungicide at the right time and at the right way. Which refers to the total elimination of weed species? A. Eradication. B. Control. C. Prevention. D. Restriction. Eradication is to do away with as completely as if by pulling up the roots. What is the major component of fish? A. Water. B. Lipids. C. Protein. D. All of the above. Water, lipids, and proteins are the three major components of fish. Number 9. These are substances which are used to impart color or shade to a food. A. Food colors. B. Flavor enhancers. C. Thickeners and vegetable gums. D. Humectants. Food coloring or color additive is any dye, pigment, or substance that imparts color when it is added to food or drink. They come in many forms consisting of liquids, powders, gels, and paste. Food coloring is used in both commercial food production and domestic cooking. Fish protein concentrate with high fat content is susceptible to A. Rancidity, B. Off odor, C. Fungal attack, D. Off flavor. Fish protein concentrate with high. It is a condition in which aerial oxidation of unsaturated fat present in food gives it an unpleasant flavor and odor. Rancidity makes food undesirable for consumption. When unsaturated fats are exposed to air, it converts into hydroperoxide. Number 11. Live or smelly shells can be dumped or soaked in a 50% solution of clean in a process called A. Reseat, B. Rotting out, C. Bleaching, D. None of the above. Bleaching is a process of whitening fabric by removal of natural color such as the tan of linen, and is usually carried out by means of chemicals selected according to the chemical composition of the fiber. Chemical bleaching is usually accomplished by oxidation, destroying color. Since milkfish is spinny, blank is done to improve its acceptability to a wider range of consumers. A. Smoking, B. Canning, C. Deboning or removal of bone, D. Drying. Deboning or removal of bone. For milkfish, fins, particularly the anal fin, are trimmed off by making a small cut around the base of the large fins. A sudden pull forward removes the fin bones and many of the nascent bones. A pair of kitchen scissors may be used to snip off the fins. The fish is then split down the dorsal side. What is the major mineral components of a chicken egg? A. Sodium carbonate, B. Potassium carbonate, C. Calcium carbonate, D. Magnesium carbonate. Egg is rich in phosphorus, calcium, potassium, and contains moderate amounts of sodium, 142 mg per 100 grams of whole egg. It also contains all essential trace elements including copper, iron, magnesium, manganese, selenium, and zinc, with egg yolks being the major contributor to iron and zinc supply. Where is blood formed in the body of animals? A. Thigh bone, B. Bone marrow, C. Hemophysis, D. Spinal column. Where is blood? All blood cells develop from a common stem cells. In adult animals, it is found in the bone marrow. It is a study of the structure of the body and the relation of its parts. A. Fishery, B. Botany, C. Anatomy, D. Husbandry. Anatomy is the science that studies the structures of the body. Which of the following is one of the four groups of preventive measures? A. Culling, B. Burning, C. Quarantine, D. Medication. Quarantine is to reduce or stop the spread of a contagious disease to animals and to human beings. Which of the following is a disadvantage of biopesticides? A. They are more economical alternative. B. They take more extensive management and planning. C. Helpful insects and animals can go completely unaffected by their use. And D. They have less dangerous impact on the environment and water quality. The answer is B. They take more extensive management and planning. The following are aims of integrated pest management except A. Grow crops that are environmental sound. B. Grow crops that pose risk to human health. C. Reduce the use of synthetic organic pesticides. D. Ensure consumer a supply of high quality, safe and economical foods and other agricultural products. Answer B. Grow crops that pose risk to human health. Which swine disease is prevented by providing dry, clean, draft-free, well-ventilated housing? A. Pneumonia, B. Swine fever, C. Hog cholera. D. Marek's disease. The answer is pneumonia. Treatment of the chronic pneumonia is of little use unless you ensure an environment that is drought-free and dry to maintain the pig's natural resistance. The bacterium that causes this disease originates in the soil, but it is also carried by individual pigs. Which weed control method is done by pulling or weeding, hoeing, and tillage? A. Cultural method. B. Mechanical method. C. Chemical method. D. Biological method. The answer is mechanical method. Mechanical weed controls refers to any technique that involves the use of farm equipment to control weeds. The two mechanical control techniques most often used are tillage and mowing. The following are conservation methods used by farmers except one. A. Direct planting. B. Green manure. C. Land conservation. D. Organic pest production. The answer is letter C. Conservation. Conservation tillage and cover crops. Conservation farming combines various farm practices in crop production such as direct planting, green manure, agroforestry, and integrated and organic pest protection, and land conservation is not part of it. 22. Which insecticides are formulated by extracting toxic compounds from plants that have pesticide properties? A. Garlic-based. B. Botanical insecticides. C. Biological insecticides. And D. Environmental insecticides. Botanical insecticides. Botanical insecticides are naturally occurring chemicals extracted or derived from plants or minerals. They are also called natural insecticides. Which organic insecticides are prepared with crushed or ground garlic cloves mixed in a cup of water? A. Garlic-based. B. Clover-based. C. Malunggay-based. D. Hot pepper-based. The answer is letter A. Garlic-based. This is used as pesticide. Garlic has a non-toxic mode of action for repelling target birds and insects. Garlic is presumed to be non-persistent since it is material known to rapidly degrade in the environment. Which agricultural product is a natural all-purpose insecticides? A. Onion. B. Garlic. C. Malunggay. D. Hot pepper. The answer is neem oil. Neem oil is one of the best all-purpose natural insecticides, killing everything from cabbage, worms, and squash bugs above ground to nematodes and grubs beneath the soil. Which refers to the toxins extracted from the plant and applied to the infested crops? A. Heat treatment. B. Soil sterilization. C. Inorganic pesticides. D. Synthetic pesticides. The answer is heat treatment. Heat treatment is a pesticide-free method to care for texture, quality during storage. This method is conducted using hot air, hot water dips, or vapor heat, and is an alternative to cut down the need to use chemical products to assure the quality of fruits or vegetables. 26. Which is done by covering the surface of the soil by applying heat before planting to kill pathogens? A. Mulching. B. Cover cropping. C. Heat treatment. D. Soil sterilization. Mulching is a widely practiced gardening technique that is beneficial for plants when done properly. It is the act of covering the soil with mulches such as bark, wood chips, leaves, and other organic material in order to preserve moisture and improve the condition of the soil. The following are steps to be taken to avoid cannibalism in poultry production except A. Isolate wounded birds until the wounds heals. B. Give the chicken plenty of fresh, green, leafy food. C. Does not give food or water to the cockerel for 24 hours. And D. If there is a ring, leader, or a persistent pecker, remove it from the stock. The answer is letter C. Does not give food or water to the cockerel for 24 hours. Which condition in egg production is associated with infectious diseases? It is a sign of mineral deficiency, especially calcium and phosphorus. A. Soft eggs. B. Interlaying. C. Double yolks. D. Extra small eggs. The answer is letter A. Soft eggs. Even if you have the best chicken for laying eggs, soft shells can be a sign of a sick chicken. Symptoms like soft shells or soft eggs can mean disease has infiltrated your flocks. It's good to perform a comb-to-the-toe checkup on your hens to make sure the flocks is healthy. Which crop disease causes blister that burst open, releasing black spores? A. Rust. B. Smut. C. Mosaic. D. Mildew. The answer is letter B. Smut. Smut is characterized by fungal spores that accumulate in soot-like masses called sori, which are formed within blisters in seeds, leaves, stems, flower parts, and bulbs. The sori usually break up into a black powder that is readily dispersed by the wind. Which crop disease grows on the leaf surface as white, gray, or purple spots? A. Galls. B. Mildew. C. Mosaic. D. Leaf spot. Mildew. Mildew refers to certain kinds of mold or fungus. The term mildew is often used generally to refer to mold growth. Usually with a plague growth habit, molds include all species of microscopic fungi that grow in the form of multicellular filaments called hepae. Which cattle disease is characterized by septicemia and sudden death? It is caused by bacteria that is transmitted through inhalation or through flies and mosquitoes. A. Anthrax. B. Hemorrhagic septicemia. C. Pneumonia disease complex. And D. Foot and mouth disease. Anthrax. Anthrax is a serious infectious disease caused by gram-positive rod-shaped bacteria known as Bacillus anthracis. It occurs naturally in soil and commonly affects domestic and wild animals around the world. People can get sick with anthrax if they come in contact with infected animals or contaminated animal product. Which skin irritation in between the legs, around the eyes, ears, and neck of swine is caused by external mites? A. Lice. B. Mange. C. Sandfleas. D. Lungworms. The answer is letter B. Mange. Mange is a skin disease of mammals caused by parasitic mites and occasionally communicable to humans. It typically causes severe itching, hair loss, and the formation of scabs and lesions. Which plant disease causes round swelling or growth in plants? A. Gales. B. Canker. C. Mildew. D. Mosaic. The answer is letter C. Mildew. It's a powdery mildew and it's a fungal disease of the foliage, stems, and occasionally flowers and fruits, where a superficial fungal growth covers the surface of the plants. Which plant disease blocks the uptake of water? A. Rust. B. Smut. C. Wilts. D. Root rot. The answer is letter C. Wilts. Wilting can be caused by drought or waterlogged soil. Plants wilt when roots are unable to supply sufficient moisture to the stems and leaves. Wilting for a short period of time does not harm plants. Sometimes a plant wilts on a hot day because moisture is evaporating from the leaves faster than the roots and can take it up. Which organic farming cultural practices break the life cycle of insects and diseases? A. Composting. B. Crop rotation. C. Cover cropping. D. Organic fertilization. The answer is letter B. Crop rotation. Crop rotation is an alternating the crop grown in a field on an annual basis, which interrupts the life cycle of insects or other pests by placing them in a non-host habitat. Crop rotations can have other benefits such as enhanced fertility and reduce financial risk. In commercial duck hatcheries, when is the sex determination of duckling done? A. 1 to 2 days. B. 2 to 3 days. C. 3 to 4 days. D. 4 to 5 days. The answer is letter A, 1 to 2 days. In a commercial duck hatcheries, determining the sex of duckling is done at the age of 1 to 2 days. How many feedings a day are sufficient for ducklings over 2 weeks old? A. 2 to 3 days. B. 3 to 4 days. C. 4 to 5 days. D. 5 to 6 days. The answer is 4 to 5 days. If feeds is given in intervals, ducklings learn to eat more readily and their appetites are developed to stop themselves in between drinks, digest food quickly, and be ready to eat their fill for the next feeding time. 4 to 5 feedings a day are sufficient for ducklings over 2 weeks old. Which breed of chicken is not under the fighting class? A. Rubble. B. Claret. C. Hulsey. D. Osmosis. Which breed of chicken is not under? The answer is letter A, Nepothetic vericina. Nepothetics vericines is a species of true bug in the family of Cicadelidae. It is a pest of millets. It is found in eastern India as well as Southeast Asia. Which term is applied to a group of an organism with specific characteristics that distinguish them from the groups within that species? A. Breed. B. Hybrid. C. Inbreed. D. Crossbreed. Which is the collective term for domestic birds that are raised for either their meat or eggs or as pets? A. Bird. B. Fowl. C. Flock. D. Poultry. The answer is letter D. Poultry. Poultry is a collective term for all domestic avian kept or reared in captivity, mainly for agricultural purposes. This includes chickens, ducks, quail, geese, turkey, pigeon, and ostrich. Chicken is a domestic poultry raised for meat and eggs. It can either be native or hybrid. At what age does improve the breed of swine reach puberty? A. 4 to 6 months. B. 5 to 7 months. C. 6 to 8 months. And D. 8 to 10 months. At what age does... The answer is letter C, 6 to 8 months. Sexual maturity is reached by both the male and female pig at about 6 to 8 months of age. At this time, there is an inflection points on the weight curve. The period from 6 to 8 months to about 18 months of age is called puberty. Which of the following environmental condition is not required for the successful incubation of the egg? A. Humidity. B. Ventilation. C. Temperature. D. Turning of egg. The answer is letter B. Ventilation. Ventilation is very important during the incubation process. While the embryo is developing, oxygen enters the egg through the shells and carbon dioxide escape in the same manner. As the chicks hatch, they require an increased supply of fresh oxygen. Which kind of animal has bulk foods as a basic diet? A. Fowl. B. Swine. C. Ruminant. D. Aquatic. Which kind of animal has bulk foods? The answer is letter C, ruminant. Grass roughage enters bulk and roughage eaters, include cattle and sheep. These ruminants depend on diets of grasses and other fibrous plant materials. The process of increasing fish life either by natural or artificial means of reproduction. A. Fish propagation. B. Fish capture. C. Fish cultivation. D. Fish conservation. The answer is letter A, fish propagation. These methods may be grouped into three categories such as natural propagation, semi-natural propagation, and artificial propagation. The larvae of oyster and mussel which are free swimming in water. A. Loblog, B. Spot, C. Spot, D. Sabalo. The answer is letter B, spot. When oysters reproduce, they spawn tiny larvae that freely navigate the water column until they find an appropriate habitat with a structure to settle on. Once the larvae permanently attach to a surface, they are known as spot. In selecting the site for mussel farming, the water should A. Be very rich in nutrient, B. Have a salinity of 27 to 35 ppt, C. Be near a densely populated area, D. Have a temperature ranging from 30 to 35 degrees. What is the scientific name of milkfish? A. Chanus chanus, B. Siluriformes, C. Alepes melanoptera, D. Tunini. The answer is letter A, Chanus chanus. These milkfish have white, flaky flesh that is tender when cooked. After being steamed, pan-fried or seared, the meat has a color closely resembling milk. As a result, locals begin to call this creature milkfish. Which tree species is most suitable for calcium carbide? A. Apiton, B. Molave, C. Nara, D. Bakawan. The answer is letter D, Bakawan. Bakawan trees are air filters and a breeding ground for fish from both fresh and salt water. It serves as a reservoir, refuge, feeding and nursery ground for marine fish, invertebrates, birds and plants, as well as it exports nutrients to other coastal habitat. What is it? A. Mangroves, B. Coral reefs, C. Seagrass beds, and D. Seaweeds beds. The answer is letter A, mangrove. Mangroves are tropical trees that thrive in conditions most timber could never tolerate: salty coastal waters and the interminable ebb and flow of the tide. With the ability to store vast amounts of carbon, mangrove forests are key weapons in the fight against climate change, but they are under threat worldwide. Which method is used in harvesting black tiger prawn? A. Pots and traps, B. Fish net, C. Pasubang, D. Total draining. The answer is letter D, total draining. Ponds are sometimes partially harvested using traps or seed nets, but more often a drained harvest is used. The water is released through the outlet structure, which has a net fitted over the pipe, and the prawns are then caught in this net.